He has time.
He's
Off
got
the
him.
left side. Dobbs is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Oh, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Ken and Ken in the Morning. With our last show without Ken, we will have the second Ken back tomorrow. Oh, how are you doing today, Dom?
Oh, I'm good. How about you? Let's drink some coffee. Beautiful outside, so can't complain.
So you warned everybody Ken will be back tomorrow?
Yep.
Fair warning, everyone. Ken will be back tomorrow.
Prepare yourselves.
And we have an early raider today.
Oi, Joe.
What's up, Joe? Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Did you,
see all
since
these
you weren't on, yeah, I was just about to say, since you weren't on the show yesterday, did you see the rule changes? And we'll start with the kickoff one. What do you think about that?
They just keep going with the pussification of the game, dude. Like,
Pussification. I love it.
yeah, I mean, this is football, dude. Like, like if we wanted them to be wearing like tutus and like dancing, we would go watch ballet. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
it's just stupid, dude. Like the kickoff one, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. Like, it's interesting.
Yeah, that one I actually don't really have a problem with because I think it's going to give us the ability to see a bunch of returns again.
Yeah, I watched a video on it and how it actually goes, and I think it's going to be better for the game as far as that goes. I mean,
It wasn't
you're not
bad.
going to have no boring just kick off and then the guy just waves his hand.
Yeah, constant touchbacks.
You're going to actually have returns almost every time, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be because I seen what you said. I looked up a few clips yesterday and this morning. It's actually pretty exciting. I'm like, not bad. I thought it was gonna be like as soon as they broke off, okay, you kick it, he catches it, they break off, the blocker just comes automatically and sets it up and everything.
No.
It's gonna be very, very boring, but it's not like that at all.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, the XFL, I mean, I can see why they do it like that. I mean, it does bring excitement to the game because the guys are like returning it every time. I mean, he's literally got the time to catch it and then return it. So, I mean, is he going to make – I mean, if he gets past the 50, it's a good chance it's a touchdown. I'll tell you that.
Now, does this start making teams carry two kickers? Because in case you have one of these dangerous return men like Nixon, you want to just boot that sumbitch out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and I still think some might still want to do that. I mean, you still have the option to kick. You don't want. I mean, if there's a dangerous return guy, you really don't want to give him a chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Devin Hester made a living and making made to kick it, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you see more maybe you see more squid kicks.
I like the old. There was nothing wrong with the old kickoff rules, dude. Like kicking off from 30, and you know what I mean? Like returns, like that's when you had the great return men like Devin Hester and Dante Hall, and you know what I mean? Like
Everything.
It's because of the whole emphasis when it came on concussions.
Running downfield and blocking or hitting the blockers, but.
Oh, I agree with you. That was entertaining as shit, and I miss it.
Like
Well,
I already
understand
took away a part of the game when they did that. You know what I mean?
They
Yeah,
should have never interfered with it. It was
Yeah,
fine the
to
way
me,
it was.
this is them trying to correct their mistake of limiting it so much. Because to me, it's almost what they got going on now is a modified version of the wedge that they work so hard to get out of the game.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because basically that's what it is. Both are lined up 10 yards apart and pretty much wait till the guy catches the ball, then they go. I mean, that's the same thing. I don't see.
They took it away just to imply it again.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of a rugby game now.
Just on a free ball.
Yeah, with the way that they're doing this kickoff. Oh, we have lost a Joe. We should have him back.
Connection, maybe.
Well, since we don't have Joe and we're not going to talk about that hip drop till he gets back. Oh, wait, no, we just are getting him back now. There we go.
Hey, Joe.
Stupid internet. Anyway, I was saying that they already took away a part of the game, you know, like with that basically killed kickoff returns. Since they changed that rule, how many kickoff returns for touchdowns have you seen in the NFL?
Maybe one or two a year. Maybe.
Maybe one or two a year.
Was there one last year?
Well, that's because they made it so you can just wave your hand and you get the ball at the 30. I mean, what the hell? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. They should have never messed with that rule.
Yeah.
They should have just kept the original kickoff.
I never liked the fair catch rule, man. I mean,
I
don't care, man. Man, you get clean, you get your clock clean. That's it. Put a wedge and protect the guy, man. I love that better, bro.
But they used to say prepare yourself.
See,
Look, that was just them saving someone's life. That's all that is, bro.
They had fair catch. They had fair catch in the original rule. I didn't mind the fair catch.
Yeah, I don't mind the fair catch.
It's moving it up 5 yards and making it to where, you know, 80% of kicks are touchbacks now. Like, you know what I mean?
When I was a kid, man, we could intimidate the other team by killing their punt returner or kick returner.
Oh, yeah.
Go down and clean his clock on the opening drive, and that would be the rest of the game. He'd hear footsteps.
Yeah, I know.
Clean his clock. You might put the guy in fucking intensive care for the next month.
You don't want to hurt him. You just want to hit him like he's not expecting. When he's looking up and you take one in the chest, the rest of the game you're like this.
Dude, I loved playing on kickoff team and doing wall breaking, dude. Like, your whole job was basically you were a torpedo, dude. You're like going downfield, and your job is to take out 3 linemen by yourself. Just bah, you know, like head first, clear the wall, let your boys get through, make the tackle. You know, like that was one of the funnest parts of the game was being a wall breaker, dude. Like, you know,
I mean,
sometimes you break the wall, and sometimes the wall breaks you. You know, like,
That's what I'm saying, man.
That was fun, dude.
So now do we have a little bit more understanding of why Joe's the way he is?
I don't have CTE, thankfully.
Oh, shit.
Well,
I only played 4 years.
Well, we might as well get into the other rule change since you weren't here, is on the hip drop tackle being eliminated. And what do you think about that?
That's what I was mainly referring to when I was talking about the pussification of the game.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, honestly, Joe, how are they going to be able to? I mean, there's so many different ways you could do this hip pull down. I mean, what do you do now when the guy runs past you? How are you supposed to pull him down from behind? It's
impossible. If a guy gets in front of you and you're behind him, now there's no tackling him. So
yeah.
You know, or you're going to get a penalty. And it's like, so either he's going to score on you or you're going to get a penalty.
This is definitely going to get guys taking off plays. Oh, shit.
Think about it. Okay, if you can't wrap around his waist, now what are you going to do? You're going to try to wrap the legs?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of guys diving for the ankle.
Flagged, right? Or you're going to see guys getting hurt because you're wrapping now if you're wrapping their legs, that means you're putting your shoulder pads in the back of their knee, dude. Like, you're going to see injuries that way, too. It's like...
Yep. That's what I mean. Every time you turn around, no matter what they do, like they took off the horse collar. I mean, I I understand it, but it's part of the game. How else are you going to stop the guy, man? I just don't understand it. And every time we come up with something else, they wrap around the waist and pull down. Now they're taking that away.
And you can't, you can't horse collar. You can't wrap around the waist. It's like
you can't trip. You can't kick his feet out from underneath him. You know what I'm saying, bro? What are you going to do?
Don't let him get behind you, basically.
Yeah,
every player in this league better shave their head this year.
No shit, right?
You can still tackle by the hair.
They're going to pull that. They're going to take that away too. They're going to either make these guys tuck their hair, or they're going to make it so you can't pull on their hair either. Watch.
Well, I'd make every use of it this year while it's still there. Then
it's crap, bro.
They're gonna have to or something like. That's the only way to tackle because there's probably a way, but I can't think of it. Like if someone's running away, like how else are you supposed to?
Well, bro, the only way
jump on their back like a toddler and just kind of hope that they waddle down.
You have to ride them forward. You have to either ride them, tackle them forward, falling forward, they're forward, or, I mean, you're going to have to just wrap up their legs and hope that but people are going to say you're trying to hurt them, you know what I mean, by hitting them low like that.
Yeah, that seems more dangerous to me.
It's more dangerous, right? When you get kicked in the face. I mean, I just don't know, man.
They're gonna learn in preseason or like OTAs or something how to
stupid.
tackle.
That's all stupid. Pussification. I like that word. Pussification of the fucking rules in the league.
I think
man.
you're going to see this year. You're going to see a lot more injuries because players are going to be trying to figure out how to tackle, and you're going to see a lot more injuries. And then like they might just change the rule next year. Like, oh, you know what? It was worth a try, but we'll stick with the hip drop tackles because there's no other.
Yeah. You like how
hip drop tackles is already an adjustment. You know what I mean?
Like
it's already an adjustment for defensive players. It's a skill that they have to learn to be able to tackle because of the rules that you've already made. And now it's like you're
handicapping these guys, and then it's not fair.
What I'm afraid that this is going to bring about is you're going to get a lot more teams playing defense like fucking Joe Barry does, where everybody's playing way fucking back just to keep everything in front of them. If you can't tackle the guy from behind.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be basically teams are going to have to emphasize you need to flat out tackle someone. Tackling will be an important quest for a defense, whether win games or not. Plain and simple. Yeah, I mean, tackling is a basic fundamental that it's just part of the game, and they're just like now they're trying to control that. I mean, how else? I mean, your whole goal is to stop the ball carrier.
I don't like that. I don't like that comment. His other comment was good, but this comment, it's like basically teams are going to have to emphasize that you need to flat out tackle someone. Yeah, that's great. Just explain how. Like, explain how you're supposed to tackle somebody now, because you can't wrap around your arms around their waist. You can't horse collar them. You can't hit them in the ankles. From behind.
I think what he's saying. Yeah, I think what he's saying is that when you're getting this first contact, you got to wrap right up immediately because you're not going to have a chance to tackle him from behind.
Yeah, you have no. If the guy beats you, if the guy gets out in front of you, that's it. You're screwed. You have to how do you run down a guy if you're chasing him from the?
That's my point. That was my point. Is that it gives yet another advantage to the offense because as soon as a dude gets by you, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's going to be a flag, a personal foul. It's going to be 15 yards.
And see, here's the thing: is that guys are going to take that personal foul rather than giving up a touchdown. So they're still going to hit him. Or they're still going to hip drop,
Well, this rule change is really going to affect Chicago when Jordan Love is throwing these deep bombs and all the Bears are behind him.
Yeah.
They're going to be trying to get to Watson, but they're only going to be able to wave at him since there's going to be no hip drop.
Well, I talked about this yesterday. They already screwed up the wide. They make it so that you could just throw the ball down. You'll be literally behind. And you can literally just throw the ball deep and then have a pass interference, and now you're first and goal. You know what I'm saying? That rule already fucking sucks.
Good to hear from you, Ken. We'll see you tomorrow.
We've warned everybody you're coming, so don't worry, bud.
Anyways, greetings from the airport in Houston.
But yeah, let's say you hit a guy on a slant, right? And he's got a step on the corner. if there's nobody immediately in front of him, that slant just turned into 20, 25 yards because,
Yeah, bro.
you know what I mean?
Facts.
It's like, I think what it is, it's just the NFL, like, trying to make more scoring, like trying to give the offense another advantage in the name of preventing injuries. But injuries are part of football, dude. They're going to happen. Like,
Doesn't matter what. I said this
That's the name of
yesterday.
the game.
We watched Greenlaw jumping on the sidelines. He leaped in the air, landed to go run in, and fell down, and he was done for the season.
are they gonna make a rule you can't jump on the sidelines anymore? Like,
exactly what I said yesterday, Joe.
because you're gonna
Exactly
carry
what I said.
the
I mean, man, it's
Ken's
ridiculous.
definitely right. It's leaning more towards becoming flag football.
Dude, honestly, I would not be surprised if let's say after this year, if they keep the no hip drop tackle rule, they're gonna put a flag in the ball carrier's back to where it's like, if basically if you can't tackle him, you can pull the flag and he's down at that spot.
Well, let's do that
Maybe a
because
foul
I mean,
or a
honestly,
flag.
bro,
Dude, if that happens, I seriously don't know if I'll be able to watch the NFL.
I mean, that's
Seriously.
what it's, dude.
And that's not me trying to be melodramatic or
I feel
anything.
like they're playing
It's
that
just,
stuff
that's
up.
going to take so much out of the fucking game.
Yeah, it's a terrible rule. Terrible rule. I just don't understand that. I mean, and I saw the video that they used to show this, and most of it was like one out of like one or two games. I mean, if that's the only examples you could come up with, bro, I don't understand why we're even talking about this. I mean,
yeah, they should call it the Mark Andrews rule.
So, yeah, right.
Exactly, because that's all.
Because one guy got hurt with this one time. So
Yeah.
Well, back in the old days, George Atkinson used to clothesline people.
Yeah.
A couple people got hurt there too. Like,
Hip to rib cage tackles. My feeling, you're going to see some really bad tackling attempts while a defensive player second guesses himself. It's true. When in reality, you have to react in a timely manner. I mean, he's right. There are going to be a lot of guys second guessing it.
And the problem is when do a lot of injuries occur? On bad tackling attempts, like bad form. Either the defensive guy gets hurt or the offensive guy gets hurt, or they both get hurt. Like, these guys train for years to be perfect form tacklers, but even then, not every tackle is a perfect form tackle, dude. Like, and you see, like, when those injuries, a lot of injuries happen when it's not a good form tackle, when it's sloppy. Guy leads with the head or whatever.
See, Jordan Love doesn't see ghosts in the pocket like some people's quarterbacks. He'll stand right there and take the shot.
Yeah, you're speaking from the wrong quarterback's perspective there, buddy. Fuck, man. Jordan Love has like steel in his eyes, bro. He's fearless. Now Fields, that dude see and run away. Give me a break, bro.
Hey, but Fields isn't the Bears quarterback anymore. Oh,
there, and that's what I fucking got you said.
That's a shot.
You guys got Bajent.
Yeah.
Secret
Oh,
man.
come on, it's Brady 2.0.
Brady 2.0.
yeah, didn't you know, man? That guy's gonna take him to the Super Bowl. Like,
Super Bowl.
Where's that guy who's like every day is talking about how Bajent is the man? Mike, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Withrow, wherever he's at. Come on, Mike, where are you at, bud? You're not in the comments yet. He was in the comments the other night, though. He was in pure form the other night, man.
Yeah, dude.
I got you, Ken.
Secret Bajent, man.
Oh, Joe does it better than me. Damn.
Is he gonna climb out of the rhino's butt like in Ace Ventura?
Yes,
Right.
that's how he's going to make his entrance for every game.
He's gonna make his entrance for every game. He's gonna slide out of the rhino's butt.
Actually, it's going to be a giant bear that he's sliding out of.
Yeah,
Just the ass end. They're gonna turn it out. Just the ass end.
Either that or he's gonna be like parasailing, like on the Jeep. Remember when they're like pulling the Jeep
Yeah,
and then he's like up in the air? He's just like.
That's so
No,
funny.
dude, like, it is hilarious. Bajent is like, I don't totally hate the dude, but like, come on, like
Yeah,
let's just
no, I think
let's
he'll
pump
be a
the
good
brakes
backup.
on the agent Love. You know, like he's
Yeah.
got to do something first. You know, it's like I tell the Packer guys, like, you know, let's pump the brakes on crowning Jordan Love. Like, you know, he's good. He did a great job. But, you know, before we go anointing the dude the messiah of your franchise, let's just wait a second and let him have another year or two like that before we start
Bro,
saying
they're already.
God
he's
damn it,
Mahomes.
we want to buy into the fucking hype. Leave us alone.
I mean, there's already memes out there like Brett Favre was 3 times MVP, Aaron Rodgers was 4-time MVP,
Yeah.
so that means Jordan Love's going to be 5-time MVP. It's
Yeah.
already started, bro. It's
Oh,
already
I
started.
know, but I'm just saying, like, pump the brakes. Like, not just you guys, but I just mean in general. Like I think that's a thing that we, you know, fans do is like we anoint these dudes super early, and then they end up not living up to expectations because the expectations are so lofty. You know,
Is this spoken with thinking about Derek Carr?
Oh damn.
Derek Carr is definitely one of them, man. Because after that 2016 season, we expected like, you know, he was going to be one of the elite guys, and then he just never came back to that form. You know, once he broke his leg, and you know, then we spent the next 5 years trying to convince ourselves that like, no, he's still the guy, and you know, it's like we spent 5 years that we could have potentially went and looked and found another quarterback. You know, although I didn't hate Carr, like I would rather have Carr right now than what we have. Put it that way.
Rob, you want to handle this one?
Joe, you know Packer fans have fragile egos. Don't burst it. You know, this coming from that guy, the king of egos. We couldn't even mention fucking Fields. Oh, you start crying. Oh my God, don't talk badly about my quarterback. Stop it, bro. Stop it. We all witnessed it, bro. Stop it.
Well, on that note, why don't we start getting into these?
I gotta get a refill. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Officer down. That's so funny, oh man.
Yeah. That Goop feels pretty good on pulling the trigger on Jordan Love right about now. That there was nobody that
he does
better in the second half of the season.
But Goot's also not like calling him the next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that Love's going to be a Hall of Famer yet, but I definitely think he's the franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he definitely is.
And I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. Like, he's definitely the franchise quarterback. He's shown that he's capable. But, you know, to sit here and talk about Hall of Fame after 1 year is preposterous, dude. Like, you know, CJ Stroud, are we gonna say Stroud is a Hall of Famer now? Like,
no, he's not a Packer, so it doesn't count.
He went farther in the playoffs and had a phenomenal season, or at least he went the same distance.
They went the same, right? Yeah.
Who played better in the second half of the season than Jordan Love, Ben Ken? He's making the point that somebody did, then who did? Because looked like Love was the best one on the field at quarterback in the second half.
Love was talking about it a lot too.
I think Stroud played really well in the second half. He got him, he got on fire and got him into the playoffs.
But you know, they're the Texans. No one's gonna really give them that.
No, yeah, I'm not taking anything away from
logic. Yes, Joe. Stroud is a Hall of Famer already. See, like Ken is. That's all I'm saying is let's just pump the brakes. I want to see him do it for a couple more years. Like, I don't have a problem in 2 or 3 more years if he has seasons like that. I don't have a problem saying he's one of the best in the league. I don't have a problem saying he has a Hall of Fame trajectory. But let's just see him do it for a couple more years.
What I think a lot of it is because his first year was better than Rodgers and Brett's first year, and then he has a lot of the same mechanics that Rodgers does. That everybody's extrapolating that into that's what they're expecting.
Well, they were showing that oh, there he is, the resident Mike Bear fan. Love has the arm and pocket presence to be a Hall of Fame quarterback for sure. His improvement over the year was better than anyone could hope for. See, there's a Bear fan. Listen to that, Ken. There's a logical Bear fan right there. Holy cow, man.
I was with you till that last comment, Rob, because this is the dude that says Bagent is going to be.
No, I know, bro. Look. I'm just giving Ken credit.
He's got very good takes as long as they don't involve Bagent.
Yeah, I mean, bro, most of his takes are like spot on, man. But I agree.
And I like I said, don't get me wrong. Like I like Jordan Love. I think he's good.
All right, have a good flight there, Ken. We'll see you tomorrow.
Safe travels, Ken. Yeah, dude. Like I like Jordan Love. I think he's very talented, and I think sitting behind Rodgers as long as he did definitely benefited him. You know, but I'm just gonna hold off on anointing the dude the next Patrick Mahomes or something. You know, like I'm gonna wait, and I want to see him do it a couple more years. You know.
Oh yeah, numbers were sick last season. I mean, no, they were sick numbers for a first-year guy starting. I mean, 4,200 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Yeah, they were good numbers for a veteran starting.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. He played like a veteran.
Let me give you guys
he was a veteran last year.
Let me give you guys a comparison, right? And it's not a perfect comparison because their career arcs were different.
Yeah.
But I was having this conversation with Nick the other day. So Rich Gannon, right? Rich Gannon was the career backup with Minnesota, Kansas City, right? Went to the Raiders, made 4 straight Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pros, MVP, took his team to the Super Bowl. And he'll never get into the Hall of Fame because it was just that 4-year stretch, right?
Yeah.
So if Jordan Love was to have a 4-year stretch like that, but then the rest of his career he wasn't great, should he be in the Hall of Fame? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, you do have a point there.
Like Gannon, when he went to the Raiders, nobody will deny that he was one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL at that time. Like, nobody would deny that.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, man, look, here we go with not my fault, y'all. Clues about Bagent. I mean, bro. I mean, you could say that, but I mean, you're saying that the whole country, the experts that are out there,
and not only that, the Chicago Bears themselves don't even believe in Bagent that much.
I mean, bro, you're the only Bagent guy out there, man, that I know of, Mike. So,
well,
I mean,
hey, if Chicago drafts Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1, we'll know they believe in Bagent just as much.
Yes, man, they'll have your back, bro.
Hey, we need to hook these guys up, man. Like, we need to get a hold of Tyson Bagent. Like, he needs to go drop Mike off a signed jersey, man. This is like
absolutely,
the biggest fan in the world, bro. Like, this guy has had your back from day one. Like, he thinks you're going to be a Hall of Famer, you know.
Man, maybe Mike needs to give him a call before every game and just sit there and talk him up. His freaking ego will be so high he'll be on cloud 9 throwing them balls.
They can talk strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Mike, you made the Homer of the Week for Saturday's show, man. So stay tuned for Saturday, bro. You're going out in Homer of the Week. You and your Bagent takes, bro.
Oh, all right. Well, now that we've had our fun, how about we start diving into these wide receivers for the draft?
Yeah, Joe, are you up to date on the wide receivers for the draft, Joe? You probably are. Joe's a big college guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're a college guy.
Well, why don't we have you go first then, Joe? And who's your one receiver?
I've been reading lately that there's it's not likely to happen, but there are a few analysts who are like pretty much saying that Malik Neighbors could go before Marvin Harrison. That there are a number of teams that are enamored with Malik Neighbors, with his size, with his ball skills and stuff, and that they wouldn't be surprised to see a team take him over Marvin Harrison. Now, again, reminder, I said that it's not likely to happen, but I have been reading that lately.
Look at Sterling Sharp. He's another guy that was best at his position his day, and yet there are other receivers in the hall with about the same numbers of production or less, and they are in. Yeah, but
I agree. Sterling Sharp had a run, Yep. It
just sucks he got a bad injury, man, a bad neck injury. Otherwise, I think Brett Favre would have benefited. His career would have been 100 times better had
Oh my
he been
God!
able to stay with Sharp. I mean, that would have been like the dude that we might have been talking about. That's like the best connection quarterback wide receiver, duo ever. I mean, we don't know how that would have went. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You're foolish. There are a bunch of ex-players that think Bagent is good quarter. Who are those ex-players, bro? Nobody's come out and said Bagent is this guy.
Wait,
He's been in the league
are
talking
these the same ex-players that said that Justin Fields was one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm wondering, bro.
Damn,
Yeah, it's like Justin Fields' cousins.
He's saying MHJ is overrated. Neighbors is better. MHJ is third or fourth quarter. MHJ three. Fourth
I
quarter.
love-
Harrison is the third or fourth quarterback taken.
Yeah,
All right.
I think he means receiver, but yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but I just wanted to point it out.
See, I like a
That's how much
thing.
he's stuck on Bagent. That's how much he's stuck on that Bagent quarterback.
I completely disagree. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is overrated at all. Like the dude has
he got that.
he has every tool that you want in a receiver. He's got some size. He's got speed. He's got hands. He's got separation. He's got
only knock
Humble guy. He's a
against-
humble guy too. Very
Yeah, the
humble.
only knock against Marvin Harrison and Neighbors is that they're both not very physical receivers. They're more elusive types.
more finesse receivers.
Yeah.
Bradshaw. You talking about Terry Bradshaw?
What you talking about?
Bradshaw barely knows who he even is anymore.
Waddle? You talking about? Please, bro. You have Bear Homer. Come on, man. Give me a break.
Bradshaw, you mean the quarterback in the Hall of Fame that has more picks than touchdowns? You mean the guy who's in the hall because he won 4 rings with the Steel Curtain and John Lynn Swan and John Stallworth? Like, come on, man. And Franco Harris. I mean, that whole team was loaded with Hall of Famers, and Bradshaw was definitely, in my opinion, Bradshaw Dilfered his way to 4 Super Bowls, dude. Like,
Dilford his way.
He said Dilford.
That's
oh, you guys haven't heard that expression before? To
No.
Oh, I have plenty of times heard it. Yeah, no.
West Coast.
That's me.
I have-
That's one of me and Nick's favorites right there. Dilfered his way to 4 Super Bowls in the Hall of Fame. Troy Aikman is another guy who kind of Dilfered his way in, dude. Like,
Hey,
But hurt
That's
Joe.
fire, Joe.
Really hurts you, doesn't it, Princess?
oh, Princess. That's hilarious.
Wow, shots fired, Joe.
It's all right. It's
Yeah.
all
With
right.
that page, Joe,
I heard his little fifis because I was talking about his lover boy Badgent. So
yes, he was, bro. Hey, look, man, I look at that.
Dude,
Gannon
he
had a
grew-
bad. That is so true, man. Gannon did have a good receiver.
actually Gannon had 2 badass receivers. He had Jerry Rice for a year too.
Oh
actually,
yeah,
2
but Jerry was
years.
he was old then. Tim Brown.
No,
Tim Brown was
Jerry
the
still
shit,
had
bro.
Jerry still had 1,200 yards receiving in that Super Bowl year.
earlier today, I seen Jerry Rice playing at 42 years old, finessing people. I was like, damn.
Yeah, no, he had 2 great receivers, but that doesn't take away from what Gannon did. Like if you look at his numbers, he was 2-time All-Pro, first team All-Pro, 4 straight Pro Bowls, MVP, took his team to the Super Bowl, and probably would have won the Super Bowl if he wasn't playing his coach, like the guy that designed his offense. And if
Mhm.
Bill Callahan wasn't just such a complete dump truck of a coach.
All right,
Like-
where do you think Marvin Harrison's going?
I think he's going to be the first receiver off the board for sure.
Oh, I
But
agree.
I wouldn't be totally like blown away if somebody liked Neighbors more. Is all I'm saying. From what I've been reading, like there's a small contingent of analysts who think that there's some teams that like Neighbors more. They like what he brings to the table more.
What team would you think is going to go after him?
It's going to be hard to say, man, because like I'm not even convinced that the quarterbacks are going to go 1, 2, and 3. You know, like there could be New England could take Marvin Harrison Jr. You know, like I don't think the Commanders are in any sort of shape to be taking a quarterback either, but they're probably going to.
Oh yeah,
No,
I
we
don't
talked
see-
about it. It's all these top 3 or so. It's just like the quarterback situation. They could go to anybody. I mean, they're all pretty much interchangeable.
Yeah, Adunze's combine numbers definitely help put him up to that level.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at their tape, I would put Adunze just a little bit below Neighbors and Harrison.
Yeah, but just a little bit. Like the Jets are going to trade up.
Wow, bro. Where are the Jets at in this?
What are they going to trade? Like, that's the thing. What are they going to trade?
They're at pick 10. And you could theoretically trade next year's picks too for it.
Yeah, give up this year's first and next year's first and move up.
They need a quarterback. Don't the Jets need a quarterback, right?
No, they got Rodgers, bro. What are you talking about? What the hell, bro? They got Rodgers, man. What are you talking about?
I was reading the text. I'm sorry.
Well, but that's actually a valid concern because if Rodgers comes back and he's not the same after the Achilles, like they are going to need a quarterback.
Yeah, they're going to need a quarterback more.
Yeah, but they got to ride with Rodgers.
Bro, Rodgers was thrown at the end of last year. There's no chance he's not ready for the start of this year, bro.
No, I'm not talking about him being ready. I'm talking about like what happens when he takes that first hit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, does that Achilles hold up is my thing.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I said it. I know Rodgers, like,
Rice's kid is going to be okay. Like he's probably going to be a
like the third or fourth round, man. He's not a first rounder.
Yeah, he's not a first round pick,
or even a second rounder. From what I understand,
Jerry Rice wasn't a first round pick either. I don't think.
No, you're right.
Yeah, that's true.
And look what Jerry turned into. And the one thing I will give Brendan Rice is, dude, if you grew up having Jerry Rice as your dad and you played wide receiver, you think Jerry didn't have him doing the same offseason conditioning program that Jerry did his whole career? Like,
and then even better because, technology is better now.
That's what I'm saying. Like that kid he has a pro pedigree for sure. Like I'm sure he is.
If Jerry Rice makes him catch those bricks like his dad made him, maybe.
Yeah. We'll see. But I don't think Marvin Harrison makes it past Arizona, to be honest.
Neither do I. Unless Arizona trades down with the Vikings. But there is talk about Washington really liking JJ. Now, this could be all the pre-draft smoke screens, but he might be off the board way before the Jets even get a crack at him.
Yeah.
See, I heard another rumor. Or not another rumor, but I read it. It was like a potential trade going the opposite way between Arizona and Minnesota, where Arizona actually trades Minnesota Kyler Murray for the 11th pick. And then they keep the number 4 pick, and then they get for the 11th pick, and they get another player. That makes some sense. I mean, the Vikings need a quarterback.
Yes, but would you take Kyler Murray over these quarterbacks?
Depends.
Like I personally don't like Kyler as a quarterback.
I think Kyler has some stories in that guy.
I mean, his work ethic leaves something to be desired, but the talent is there. The dude can run, the dude can throw. Like he misses, he gets injured. It'd be a risk, but I mean, let's be honest, if you're the Vikings and at 11 the only quarterbacks left are like Bo Nix or Michael Penix, or you could trade for Kyler. At least Kyler has experience in the NFL. He's shown you that he can do certain things, and you're giving him Addison and possibly Justin Jefferson to work with, which he's never had in Arizona. Like,
if we're taking somebody in the 3rd or the 4th, I'd rather it be Worthy over Rice.
That guy's too.
Worthy's going in. I think Worthy's going at the end of the 1st round. To be honest with you,
I don't see it. A lot of the analysts don't even have him listed as a top 10 prospect.
No, not a top 10, but
no, like a top 10 prospect at receiver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy because the dude's kick return skills alone are like valuable, and then he ran just a blistering 40, and it's not like the dude doesn't have hands either. Like, go and watch his tape at Texas. Like,
oh, absolutely. That's why I'd love to take him at 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think he's I don't think he's going to make it to the 3rd or 4th round, though. I think if he makes it to the 2nd round, somebody's going to snatch him up. Like, because for all that I just said, like his kick return ability, kick and punt return ability, plus he's the guy that'll take the top off the defense for you, so it's going to open up all that underneath stuff, because you have to respect that speed. That's Tyreek Hill speed, dude. You have to respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Speed.
Now, if Fields would have stayed with the Bears, I would have given a lot of credence to Williams going to Washington with them getting Cliff Kingsbury. But with them trading him, I think they're all in on the Williams train. Honestly, I don't see how they would make another quarterback decision besides him. Now, I could see Jalen Daniels or Jaden Daniels. I don't know why I keep messing it up. And JJ there.
See, I don't. Maybe the Bears stay away from Drake May because of Mitch Trubisky, but that's basically just like helmet shopping, like because I think Drake May is much more talented than Mitch Trubisky was, arm talent wise. Like, I don't know. I could see a scenario where they take Drake May, but I think I think the consensus says that they're gonna pick Caleb, so I think they're gonna go with the consensus so that they don't get clowned. But
good morning there, Dutchman's Woodshack. I'm kind of terrified to find out what that means.
Dutchman's Woodshack.
Dutchman's Woodshack. He's got bodies out there for sure.
Yo, right? He's got a shack with woods in it. Caleb.
See, this is just lazy. This is just lazy takes, man. Williams is a Fields mini-me. May is Mitch 2.0. Like,
they haven't even performed in the NFL yet. So, like, that's
like exactly.
You can't judge them by college play already. You got to see what they can do first.
First of all, I can tell you one big difference in Fields and Williams' game right off the bat is that Caleb runs around in the pocket looking to throw downfield rather than looking to just take off running immediately like Justin Fields does. So that's a huge difference in their games. That's never been a knock on Caleb, that he runs too much. His thing is he runs around in the pocket so much that he ends up getting sacked, or he ends up, he tries so hard to create that, it's like eventually time runs out. And also in his defense, like he was, he didn't really have a whole lot of receiver talent last year at USC. Like, Addison was gone. He only had Brendan Rice, really. I mean, we're talking about fifth and sixth round receivers. Like, if he had Malik Neighbors on that team, I think they would have been a lot better.
Oh Lord, yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Like, what's wrong?
Something. Now, I definitely think they could have a Super Bowl hang over the 49ers this year, and I see Joe smiling from ear to ear reading them losing 3.
Bro, I'm
happy too, man. Like,
I've hated the Niners my whole life, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think their window's closed, man. I think the Niners, like, they'll be competitive, but eventually the salary cap is going to, they're going to have to pay the piper, and they're going to lose a lot of guys very soon. And, you're already seeing, like, Ayuk wants to go, and they're paying Fred Warner a crap load of money. And
what there's talked about trading Samuels earlier.
Yeah, they were talking about trading Debo.
Like, they're gonna blow up the whole roster and rebuild soon. They have to. You can't lose 3 straight Super Bowls and expect to, carry on.
Here's the good news for them, is that they have so many star players that when they actually decide to rebuild, I mean, they're gonna start off with a shit ton of draft capital if they trade these guys off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they're gonna jumpstart their rebuild. Like, they could rebuild in 1 year, pretty much.
I think Jaden Daniels would be a good QB too. Like,
yeah, I actually do like Jaden Daniels a little bit, but I worry too much, and I know I've said it multiple times with how reckless he runs with that ball. I'm too worried he's going to be injured more times than not.
Yeah, they'll fix that. Hopefully they fix it when he goes to the NFL. You don't want to see a QB get injured, especially if he's your franchise QB. Like, you got to be like, hey, sit down. Like, come on, man.
Jaden Daniels also has some he has some mechanical issues with his short game, which can be probably coached out. But he also, he misses open receivers at times. He doesn't really tend to see the whole field. I'm not sure that that's something you can coach. Like, I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying I'm not sure if you can teach a guy to see the whole field like that. Like, I think the Niners window is closed. Like, and that's Shanahan is going to go down. Shanahan is going to go down in history as one of those weird cases where he was like one of the best coaches of his time, and for whatever reason in the Super Bowl he just always screwed the pooch, dude.
He wasn't like his dad. That's why couldn't close the gap. Couldn't finish the game.
But you can literally look at all three of those Super Bowls and you can put the blame squarely on Shanahan.
So, Doran, does that mean they're the same old Lions?
Same old Lions. You.
Oh.
I actually disagree with that, though. I think the Lions window just opened.
Oh no, I don't think it is like wide open.
It didn't close, but it's like
it's narrowing.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Like
they've got a big quarterback problem. They're going to be coming up on after next year. Are you paying? Are you going to pay Goff a shit ton of money to stay with your team? Or are you going to ride with Malik Hooker?
I don't know if Hendon Hooker. I don't know if you have to. Though. I don't know if you have to. Like I think Goff, he might feel like he found a home with Detroit, and so he might be willing to play ball with them in the contract in order to stay competitive because Goff wants to win. Like all these guys want to win, and Goff. Let's be honest, Goff has made a tremendous amount of money in his career, dude.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna finish the game, so I mean.
I don't even know what to say to this one.
If Foles trades back to get picks, he should grab Neighbors and hope Daniels is there at 9. If Daniels miraculously beats out Bagent, he'll have familiarity with him. If that happens, he should also trade up for Thomas Jr. for an ex-receiver. Wow. Damn, Mike, how do the Bears get through life without you, bro?
Hey, it's not. You know what they should do? They should go call up Lawrence Taylor and have him come play linebacker for him too. Like, I mean, if we're gonna build this Madden all fucking universe team, like we might as well.
All right, Mike. Hooker can sit another year or two. Goff isn't done yet.
That's the first thing he said that I agreed with.
Yeah, but Goff only has one more year under contract, and it's this season.
Yeah, but I think that they'll extend him at least 2 years. Like, Goff is playing really well for them, and
willing to take a backup job though.
Lions O-line taking a step back this season. So,
do I think what? That Goff's going to take a backup job?
Yeah, you think you draft a QB just to?
Well, that he's going to take a backup job.
Backup job if he signs the extension.
Hooker was a second-round pick, so it's not like they drafted him with the specific intention of him, taking Goff's job.
They got him. So,
they got him in the second round. He's like he was a project guy that they're like, hey, this guy, could turn into something, and we'll see what happens. Like, but I mean, obviously, right now, Goff is the better quarterback. So, like, otherwise, Hendon would have been starting last year. So, like, I don't see Goff dropping off next year. Like, he's. I don't know how the Lions do overall. Like, I think the Lions have. I've been saying it for 3 or 4 years now. The Lions have been putting together a sneaky good roster, dude. Like, I've really liked their draft picks. Even though you could argue at the places at which they drafted guys, the guys themselves I liked, and they've been putting together a good squad, man. Yeah, I agree. I think the Lions will re-sign Goff.
Hey, I don't mind if they do, because the blueprint for beating Goff's been out there since he was a Lion. You get pressure in his face, he becomes a turnover machine. Now, when they can block for him, he's an awesome quarterback. I'll give him that. But as soon as he starts getting whacked a couple of times, he gets nervous.
Yeah. Well, most quarterbacks do. I mean, let's be honest. That's why we talk about pressure. It's really important.
Yeah.
Well, with some of them, it's more just cutting down their time to throw versus that they're going to start coughing the ball up at that point. Where Goff, I see him.
He has a propensity to
countless
cop
times
out.
he's either fumbling it away or throwing an interception once the pressure's gotten there even earlier in the game. It doesn't have to be him getting pressured right then and there.
Fucking John Stewart. Lions O-line is getting older, turning into an old folks home.
See, another thing is I'm not so sure that the Chargers draft Neighbors though. Like,
I really think the Chargers are drafting Neighbors.
see, I'm not gonna. If they draft a receiver, I think they're definitely going to draft Neighbors. But I still think that there's something to the whole Justin Jefferson thing. I think it makes too much sense for them to at least not explore it, dude.
I think you have a new rival now. In the
Yeah,
comments,
Joe.
Joe.
Mike just don't like you, Joe. It must be a Raider thing. Must be a Raider thing.
No, it's a Bajent thing. It's because
It's a Bajent thing. Oh, I got it.
brought Tyson Bajent back down to earth. I brought us back to reality on the Bajent thing, so he's fuming about it. But no, I think that Justin Jefferson trade makes a lot of sense, dude. Because if you're the Vikings, think about it from both perspectives, okay? The Chargers just got rid of Keenan Allen. They haven't re-signed Mike Williams yet. Their only receiver that, I mean, not the only receiver on their roster, but the only receiver that you could say is playable is Quentin Johnson. And hasn't really shown anything. So they need a number one badly, right? Now, Neighbors comes in and fits that role nicely, right? But think about it like this. If you're the Chargers and let's say the Vikings want to get up to 5 so that they can get, their quarterback, like they throw Justin Jefferson in that deal, and let's say they throw the number 11 pick and Justin Jefferson in that deal, right? Like, I think the Chargers would jump on it because, Neighbors, as likely as he is to be a good player, he's not guaranteed to be Justin Jefferson, And I saw that comment. Where are they going to get the money to pay? Dude, they get money to pay. They found money to keep, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the team. Like, guys take pay cuts. It's not unheard of. And after they traded Keenan Allen and got rid of Mike Williams, they were under the cap by a certain amount. So I don't think it's impossible for them to find the money. In fact, I think if they traded for Justin Jefferson, they would make their whole mission finding the money to pay him.
Yeah. You'd be stupid not to. Shit.
So,
all right, Joe, you disrespected Mike somehow. That's what he said, bro.
You gotta be respectful, Joe. Don't be an asshole.
You was being disrespectful somehow to him, man. He said the rest of us are all right, but disrespect, bro. Disrespect.
You know what? I'll take it. The Raiders are the bad guys. I'll be the bad guy.
I think John Dorn. You know what? Put that John Dorn comment up there. They trade for Kyle. The only reason I think that's true is because they could really make some of those two. If they pick up Murray, that's their quarterback. Yep. Then they can use that other pick for something else. And then they could keep JJ too. I think that's what they're trying to do.
I massively want the Vikings to trade. Yeah, I massively want the Vikings to trade that number 23 pick because that's right before us, and they're mocked to go after Cooper too, and I want him as a damn Packer.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Man, but imagine that if they actually do trade for Kyler Murray, right? Then now they have Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison, dude. Like,
ooh, don't forget who's in the backfield.
And they got Aaron Jones too. Like, that offense is looking like. Kyler.
This might be the first time in Aaron Jones.
Gets a lot of shit. Kyler gets a lot of shit, right? But we've never seen Kyler have 2 legit number 1 receivers before.
Yeah. They're all gonna be playing the game together. What you mean, Joe? It's gonna be like.
They'll be like the first time to practice because they're playing Madden together and shit.
Now this might be the first time in Aaron Jones's career he's taller than the starting quarterback.
Where's Luca this morning, man? Where's the resident Viking, Luca? Where is he, man? I would love to hear his take on this.
Exactly.
Minnesota will not be able to afford Jefferson. Everybody talks about money, but these teams always figure out how to come up with the money when they want to pay somebody, bro.
Like how the Falcons able to come up with that's what I'm saying. Like Arthur Blank came and sprinkled a little cheese.
The thing is, though, I don't think that Justin Jefferson really wants to be there, though.
You don't think so?
And that's exactly what it was with Diggs. I don't think they weren't able to keep Diggs. Diggs just did not want to be a Viking.
I
And
think
He didn't like Cousins. He didn't like Cousins. Diggs made it clear he did not like Cousins. He didn't think Cousins was
but
the guy.
now Jefferson is like, if we don't have a quarterback, I'm not going to come back, this and that. I need to see what we're doing at quarterback. He's trying to strong arm the team. He's making it clear he wants to go somewhere that has a quarterback. And I don't disagree like with that take that Minnesota probably doesn't have the money. I think they could find the money. It would hurt, but I think they could find the money to pay him. But I just think that Jefferson wants to go somewhere else.
That's a shot at you, Ken. I'm hoping to trade for number 2 to the Vikings after Washington moves up to get Williams so Poles can get Dijon. Sorry, but not sorry.
Well, it's a good thing we got a bunch of draft capital because if they do trade back, we can still hop in front of them.
Yeah, bro. That's the thing is, it depends on how bad Goody wants them. You know what I'm saying?
I hope Goody wakes up every morning and just thinks, Cooper.
I'm sorry, Mike. We got 5 picks in the top 100, bro. I mean, that's some serious draft capital with your 4 picks. With your 4 picks, bro.
Man,
Exactly.
that's so true. The cap is a joke.
You're a day 1 and a day 3 guy. That's all you are. Day 2 is out of your league.
No, but think about it. Like I was saying, from the Chargers' perspective, right? You get JJ, you can find the money somewhere to pay him, right? And now you're pairing him with Herbert, and you get the number 11 pick. So now you get to go add another top flight player, like on a rookie contract. And the Vikings get up and get their guy, and they still have another first round pick that they could take a receiver at to replace Jefferson. Like Addison will be your number 1. They can go get another guy. Right. Mm-hmm. They can always push their contracts back. So that's what I'm saying is like, Jefferson wants to be the highest paid annually, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to front load his contract. I mean, you could backload it. You could give him a fat ass signing bonus. There's ways around it.
You can guarantee him that guaranteed money straight up, give it to him. Boom.
Oh, he's going to get a lot of guaranteed money for sure. But I'm just saying,
he gonna
it doesn't all have to be in the beginning of the contract,
No. But if he does get a contract, I think he deserves it. I mean,
it depends on what the contract is.
It better be a damn reasonable contract.
Yeah, bro, but get your money while you can because they're going to ask you to take a pay cut sometime, man. Just get your money. Fuck it. He's going to get his money,
you pay me up front.
Man, but could you imagine that, though? And then let's say, for the sake of argument, that Brock Bowers falls out of the top 10, and he's there at 11 for the Chargers to add to Justin Jefferson.
Oh my God.
You pair them with Herbert, all of a sudden Harbaugh and the Chargers are like looking like contenders, dude. Who won't go for what?
It must have been a comment he was talking. It must have been something that we were discussing.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, but Washington and Vikings will give up the picks we need. That's why I said that. You're right, Mike. I love this guy, Mike, man. He's
and I'm hoping no matter what picks you get, Goody uses this ammunition to get in front of them to get them.
Force us to use up our draft capital, you bastard.
I mean, I know you guys. Somebody tells me a team or two is going to pull some crazy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more than 2 teams because if you think about it, there's so many quarterbacks that are projected to go in the top 15 picks that a lot of really good skill players and defensive players are going to drop into the middle of the round. So it wouldn't surprise me to see some of these later round teams like the teams that are picking later in the first round, like the Bengals or the Packers or like the Chiefs, like any one of these teams that's picking in the late 20s to trade up into the middle of the first round to get a guy because there's going to be a top 10 talent on the board because there's so many quarterbacks projected to go.
Yeah. And then, you know what? I think with that disappointing Joe take, we're going to end this one here.
Hour goes by fast, don't it, man?
Well, thanks everybody for stopping in and watching. Thanks especially for commenting. You guys have yourselves a good day and go Pack go.
He has time. He's got left side. Touch is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.